So what was your worst flight experience? Shoulder squeezing shoulder, there was no room for $600 I paid, and we're not getting much out of it. When it comes to catering, United has officially given up. The food they serve was just marginally better than gas station food. When I opened up the cutleries, I discovered my spoon was also stained somebody's feet. It was pretty disgusting, pretty gross. I had a really uncomfortable flight recently on Southwest Airlines to Dallas. As many of you would know, Southwest Airlines doesn't have a seat assignment. It's pretty much free seating. In order to speed up the boarding and efficiencies, you can choose whatever seats you want, and the first get on the airplane chose the best seats. So I was on this business trip to Dallas, and I bought a business full fare, and I was entitled to be the first to board. After the pre-board, I was in position A1 at boarding. As soon as I board on the plane, I saw the first rows empty. I went ahead to sit by the window to enjoy the view as a nav geek would normally do. And there's another bigger guy came, he sat on the aisle side. And sooner or later, there's a huge guy, he came, and he decided to take that middle seat. Of course he's entitled to, it's free sitting for all. Maybe he saw the legroom in row 1 is attractive and he can get off the plane first, right? And then he just squeezed into the middle. Oh boy. That was beyond a tight squeeze. And literally, it was shoulder squeezing shoulder. There was no room to have all the shoulders together. One of us kind of have to lean a little bit forward or have to hold our arms. That was so bad. But still, I don't think it was the airline's fault. I think it's just one of those days, you just had it. You had 3 big guys squeezing into a very tiny row, and being at the first row of the Boeing 737 didn't help. There was about 1 inch less due to that curvature of the nose of the airplane. Had this been on an Airbus 320, perhaps it would be a little bit better because the A320 has at least 1 more inch on each seat, so that 1 tiny inch matters in this situation. During the flight, we all have to take turns to lean forward on our body to make some shoulder room for other passengers in our row to enjoy. At least the passengers being very cooperative. So it wasn't the flight from hell. From that perspective, I still enjoy the view, and what a beautiful approach into Dallas Love Field. So the next day, I continued to fly from Dallas to Atlanta. This time, I chose to fly on the Delta Airlines Boeing 717. I was beyond excited because I haven't flown the 717, or technically the MD-95, for a very long time. And it was a very early morning flight, 7 a.m. departure out of Dallas Love Field. I didn't have breakfast. I got on board. I was actually sitting in 1A. I paid a very high fare as well, $600 last minute full first class fare. So to my surprise, during that 2-hour flight, there was no breakfast. Even in first class, there was not even a muffin or a sandwich. Flight attendant came by with a snack basket. So all you have is a biscuit or maybe a bag of chips and a drink. And that was it. For $600 I paid, and that's the first class currently in the States, I guess under 2 hours. And if you look at compared to Qatar Airways in the Middle East for 40 minutes flight between Dubai and Doha, you get a full meal with a beautiful champagne included. Look at Turkish Airlines, domestic flying business class. An hour inside Turkey, you get a full meal, main course, salad, appetizer, and dessert. How beautiful is that? And even the notorious 1-star airline from North Korea, Air Koryo, I have flown it from Beijing to Pyongyang many years ago. They give you a full tray of food and beer on a 1-hour business class flight. And let's talk about even the economy flight. Some flight I've flown recently in January inside Jordan on Royal Jordanian from Amman to Aqaba. It was a 30-minute Embraer flight. You still get a snack box with a drink and a little sweet. So all of these are still better than the Delta first class for that 2-hour flight. So as we emerge out of COVID, the airfare has been super high due to the high demand. The airlines are gaining because of these days selling at full fare to everyone. But however, the in-flight experience has pretty much been the same or worse than before COVID. So we're paying high fares and we're not getting much out of it. So I don't mind actually paying more if you know that you're getting more out of it. But that is sadly not the case right now. And I hope airline can pay attention to improve their product offering if they are charging that kind of high fare. So my third flight in the US was with United Airlines. It was a transcon flight from Newark to Los Angeles. It was actually on board one of the really old Boeing 777-200 with Pratt & Whitney engine. So this aircraft type was grounded for about a year and a half due to there was an engine blew up issue on one of the earlier flights in 2021. And I'm glad they actually finally made a comeback. And they actually all done up a beautiful, nice Polaris business class in the front cabin. There are 50 Polaris business class, making this airplane easier to get an upgrade than other fleets like the 757 that only have 16 business class seats. When it comes to catering, United has officially given up. The food they serve was just marginally better than gas station food. I mean, we've been paying thousands of dollars in business class. Imagine you're just getting a microwave meal. It was really bland. I mean, the presentation was all right, but it was not the best for sure for a 5-hour transcon. Look at JetBlue, they were doing far better. And the worst of all is when I opened up the cutleries, I discovered my spoon was also stained. It was not cleaned and it was not checked properly. So I think United has a long way to pick up their catering game if they're charging so much on their airfares. But still, I enjoyed the Pratt & Whitney engine dance outside of my window. So that was a beautiful approach into Los Angeles. Enjoy this. Okay, and here's one more. I was on this Delta Airline flight to Seattle to see the last Boeing 747 end of January. I was busy filming the landing on my Instagram stories on my camera, and guess just what's underneath my arm on the armrest is somebody's feet. It was pretty disgusting, pretty gross. And then, especially you have someone sitting in front of you, you put your feet up on the armrest. So after name and shame a couple of flight experience I had, I also have some really good one recently. One of them is in Thailand with Bangkok Airways. So Bangkok Airways is like a boutique airline. They have Airbus 320, 319, and also ATRs flying regionally and domestically in Thailand. The difference is all the passengers on Bangkok Airways are entitled to use the lounge, not just business class or premium. Everyone can use the lounge to grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a sandwich before the flight. It was beautifully done. Really enjoyed that. And also to my surprise, on that 1-hour domestic flight, you were actually served a tray of food. Way better than the US domestic flight or Europe domestic flight. And many of you have seen my Korean Air 747-8 video. Inside that video, I flew in first class. It was a special experience, but I filmed the economy class food tray. I was so surprised to see Korean Airlines serve a huge food tray with decent food. They have bibimbap across economy, business, first, all classes. There are lots of airlines these days using a much smaller tray in economy. Naturally, if you have a smaller tray, there's, when you put the food on it, it looks more crowded. It gives you a creative optical illusion that you're getting actually more food, but you're not. You're getting less food because the tray is smaller. So in Korean case, they're still pretty traditional, maintaining serving a big tray of food and a full tray of food, which I think is pretty commendable. So next week, I'm going to Germany to see an exciting new product of Lufthansa. Finally, Lufthansa is revealing their long-awaited first and business class products, because their current product's been used quite a long time now. It's getting tired. So can't wait to see what the new one brings. And I would like to know, what is your best or worst flight experience? Let's call it some of the memorable experience you have. Feel free to share that in the video comment with me. Thanks for watching this week.